All right, what would Tom Cruise do? And I'm not joking, I'm serious here. This is actually a very powerful technique that I've used in my personal life and in my business life. And the results have been incredible. Something that you could do, not only with Tom Cruise, but with anyone else, someone that you admire, someone that you know, because it allows you to go out of your own head and see this challenge that you're facing, this situation from a different perspective, from a different angle. This is actually the love child of role-playing, not that kind of role-playing, different role-playing, and brainstorming. Actually, I call it Rolestorming. It allows you to brainstorm and role-play together with any character. In this case, Tom Cruise. So what would Tom Cruise do? Let's find out. Let's roll. Why Tom Cruise? Well, for me, this exercise is more than just the actor here, more than just The Last Samurai, Jerry Maguire, Top Gun, all this stuff. This is beyond that. This is about Tom Cruise, the human being, someone who is resilient, brave, just doesn't give up. He gives it all, and that's something that inspires me. When you look into his life, this is a kid who grew up with nothing. They were very poor. Christmas, they didn't have any money, and they gave each other poems. His mom, his two brothers, and him. His father was abusive, used to hit him, used to kick him, and then he abandoned them, and they moved all over the US and Canada. He was bullied constantly, couldn't learn. He didn't know he had dyslexia. If he were watching this video, he would say, no, I was never dyslexic. That was a label that someone gave me. And he took ownership of that, and no, he wasn't dyslexic. He actually became a pilot. If you understand how difficult for someone who has dyslexia, reading and absorbing information is, then becoming a pilot is almost an impossibility. No, not for this guy. So he did it. He wanted to do something more. He wanted to be a better version of himself. That kid who was bullied, who was poor, who didn't have any options. No, he used to go to the movies and dream. He loved movies. He actually said it many, many times that movies saved his life. So I admire this. I admire this drive, this engine, this energy that he puts on everything that he does. If I apply that and I look at it from that point of view, I could do so much. I could see, a challenge that I have in my business that, all right, would Tom Cruise be giving up on this business because I'm not selling? Because I am making cold calling and I'm not getting anything? He's 61 years old and he's flying out of a plane. He's gonna be shooting a movie in space. The first actor is gonna do it. Does he have to do that? No. Many interviews that I've seen, and he actually states that this is not work for me. I am lucky that I'm doing this. So if you ask yourself, maybe I'm facing a challenge in my business. Hey, you're lucky that you're doing that you are waking up every morning and trying again. So if you ask yourself, what would he do? What would Tom Cruise do here? I think you're gonna find that question and that perspective fascinating. Role-playing, brainstorming together. What would Tom Cruise do? So don't assume that you know this character. If you actually do some research on a famous character, Steve Jobs, many biographies, you know a lot about the founder of Apple. So maybe you can dig into that and then ask these questions and have fun with that. Because the moment you start having fun in the middle of this storm that you might be having in your life, personal or business, then you start thinking differently. Because then you go from this state of motion in which you're not doing anything, and I know it's called motion, but you're planning, you're overthinking, you're overplanning, you're not doing anything, but you go into action. Because now you go, hey, what would my grandfather do here? He would do this because I know him, because this is what he used to say or do. So now I could apply this into my role-playing, brainstorming exercise. This has been very powerful, very useful to me because it gives me space, because it empowers me to think in a different way. Because when I can't think anymore as me, then I start role-playing and say to myself, hey, this is what they would do. This is what they would think. This is how they would act. and that takes you on a different level. All right, so Rolestorming actually becomes even more powerful when you combine it with something called identity-based habit, which is a technique, a concept out of this guy. All right, so atomic habits. The idea behind the identity-based habit is this. You project yourself, you imagine yourself in a better version. What is the best version of yourself in different aspects of your life? For example, maybe you have challenges with alcohol and you want to stop drinking. So when you go to a party and someone offers you a drink, then you go, would my best version be drinking that scotch or that gin and tonic right now if I'm trying to, give up alcohol? Maybe you're trying to lose weight. Would I be eating this? Would my best version be eating this pizza right now when I'm trying to lose weight? And I love pizza, but that's the exercise. Maybe I'm trying to stop smoking. Would I be taking that cigarette and lighting it up if I'm trying to quit smoking? The idea is this. You always ask yourself, would my best version do this? Would Tom Cruise do this? How would he act? And then you combine these two concepts and it's a two-way punch. You can't go wrong here. It's super powerful. All right, so what would Tom Cruise do? He said it many times. When you're facing a challenge, either you sink or swim. And I think we both agree here that he's swimming. He doesn't sink. No, he will persist. He would call one more time. He would sell one more thing. And maybe you're thinking, well, it's easier for them. They're millionaires. They are successful. At some point, they were not. They were not rich. He was not a millionaire. He was a kid who was bullied, had a rough life, couldn't read, and he took all that and became this guy. If you like this content, please subscribe to our channel, comment, like. I actually would love to see who your character is. Who is this persona? And what would they do in a particular situation? Hope I see you again. Take care.